Some say it's a backward place, narrow minds on the narrow way, but I make it a point to say.
My name is Anthony Scala. I'm a senior in agricultural science with concentrations in horticulture and ag business. I'm from a small community known as Sumner, which is about 15 minutes south of Greensboro. Oftentimes I've been asked what my connection to agriculture is, which can be a tough question to answer. The short answer is that I joined FFA in high school, which led me to be an advocate for the industry and set a career plan based upon that passion, which has led me to where I am today. The long answer? Well, that's a different story. Over the next few minutes, I hope to share how agriculture has been a part of my life in a way that differs greatly from that of my peers. These are my parents, Michael and Tiziana Scala. They are two of the most important, influential, and supportive people in my life. They always have been, and I know they always will be. I never thought of myself as someone who came from an agricultural background, until one day it clicked. Everything on my father's side of my family is based off of production agriculture. He had grown up walking through vineyards which his parents cared for, and his grandparents had cared for before them. He shared stories of being young and planting, picking, and curing tobacco in the mild climates of southern Italy. Although I myself wasn't raised on a farm and have never worked on one, a lot of the skills and values that my dad taught me came from his years working the land. These are some pictures of myself, my brother, and sister in 2001 and 2003 when we visited Italy in my parents' hometown. Here you can see the illustrious mountainside filled with vineyards and cherry trees. Although there were agricultural roots in my blood, I still felt like I was removed from the industry. I'm not alone though, as a study at Eastern Kentucky University a few years ago said that nearly 90% of all agriculture majors nationwide don't come from a farm background. Many of us became involved in the agriculture industry through avenues such as summer jobs, family members, 4-H, FFA, or agricultural education classes in high school. For me, the last one of those options was the case. I enrolled in my first agriculture classes because of some older friends who talked about how great being a part of the FFA was. I wanted to share those same experiences, so I jumped in head first. I became extremely involved, competing in CDEs, attending conferences and conventions, serving as an officer, and growing as a person all in the process. So that was it. I had officially begun my own agricultural story, one that I'm still working on today. This chapter ended, though, after serving as a state FFA officer. I began to wonder what was next. Where would the path of agriculture and leadership guide me? It wasn't long before I began to cross paths with some familiar faces I'd known throughout high school and FFA, but this time in a new way. These men were brothers of AGR, something I knew very little about at the time. Thanks to their friendliness, willingness to help out, genuineness, and successes, I was able to become a part of one of the greatest agricultural organizations in the country. This is possible due to one thing: everyone's commitment and appreciation to build a better agriculture. Because of my time in AGR, I've traveled the country, made tons of memories, and created not only lifelong friendships, but brotherhoods in the process. Like I said before, this journey of agriculture, leadership, and merging the two is just the beginning for me. But it's also the beginning for every single person in this class, on this campus, and even the world. Each of us, whether we think we're a part of the agriculture industry or not, has an obligation to assist in supporting the rest of Earth. It's estimated that by the year 2050, our planet's population will tip 9 billion people. That's a lot of mouths to feed. Everyone can help, whether it be the farmers, the doctors, the teachers, or anyone else. Being a part of agriculture has taught me a ton, but it hasn't been all sows, plows, and cows. Some things I've learned are, your own life isn't the only one that matters. Someone, somewhere, is counting on you for something. It's up to you to fill in the who, the where, and the what. Nothing is more satisfying than a hard day's work. You'll never know how strong you really are until you push yourself to your limits. But with that said, physical strength isn't the only thing that a person's made of. And lastly, as Thomas Jefferson said, agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will in the end contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness.
That's where I come from.